Hello, everybody. Welcome back to this channel. Hope you're doing good. Now, let's talk about the tragic murder of Bouwer van Niekerk. On Friday morning, Bouwer van Niekerk, a respected Johannesburg insolvency lawyer, was shot dead inside the offices of Smith Sue Attorneys and Conveyances in Saxonwold. Two men are reported to have gained entry after arranging a meeting to discuss a new case. Once inside, they opened fire. No items were stolen, and earlier indications from investigators are that this was a targeted assassination, not a robbery. Van Niekerk was not an ordinary practitioner. He worked on high-profile insolvency matters and had been publicly outspoken about danger facing lawyers and investigators who would take on entrenched corruption and organized crime. In recent weeks, he even warned publicly about the climate of intimidation and the assassination of other investigators, warnings that now read like a grim foreshadowing. His family and colleagues described him as principled and incorruptible, a figure who tried to use the law to hold powerful actors to account. This killing is not an isolated incident. It joins a string of attacks on people tied to investigations and insolvency work. The brutal murders of liquidator Clute Murray and his son Thomas in 2023 remain unsolved and sent shockwaves through the industry. Investigators and civil society groups worried at the time that the murder was being used as a tool to silence people who threatened financial and political elites. That case and others involving whistleblowers have created a toxic pattern. Professionals who dig into fraud and asset recovery are being placed squarely in harm's way. We don't yet have an arrest, but the context points to a few plausible drivers. Insolvency practitioners are often appointed to untangle corporate structures, freeze assets, and recover funds. Work that can threaten people profiting from fraud, siphoned loans, or corrupt state contracts. When a practitioner can be silenced with bullets, the incentives to obstruct investigations or to accelerate illicit asset flights grow dramatically. It was meant to send a message: stop digging or die. The immediate effects is obvious: to instill fear. The insolvency sector, legal community, and anti corruption advocates now face the terrible choice of continuing risky work under threat or walking away from matters that might expose powerful wrongdoing. Industry leaders and parliamentary figures have warned that these killings undermine the rule of law itself. When liquidators, forensic accountants, and lawyers are killed with little sight of swift justice, the deterrent that keeps predatory corruption in check weakens. The business press and legal bodies are already describing a climate of intimidation that will materially affect prosecutions, asset recoveries, and public confidence. Senior MPs and bodies representing insolvency practitioners have called for decisive action and protection for officials and private practitioners working on sensitive matters. But critics point to a history of slow, under-resourced investigations into similar murders, most notably the Murray case, and to unresolved questions about prioritization and possible interference. That gap between public outrage and concrete, rapid investigative progress is exactly what allows organized networks to keep operating with impunity. For the family of the victim and for a profession already riddled with earlier slayings, rhetoric without arrest will ring hollow. Bouwer van Niekerk's killing is not only the loss of a lawyer, it's an alarm bell for any society that depends on courts, liquidators, and investigators to check corruption. If those who enforce the law can be picked off in broad daylight, the system that separates profit from plunder begins to crumble. The question for the state is blunt: will authorities respond with urgency and transparency, or will this fit the same troubling pattern of fear that lets organized corruption keep its teeth? Justice for Bouwer van Niekerk will require more than words. It will require visible, swift action and accountability. Please write your message of condolences down in the comment section and don't forget to tell us your thoughts, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel.